Hello everyone, this is Tammy from Tammy Colors 2. I feel like it's been forever because I've been so busy this month. But I am here to do the Pastel Halloween color tag. This tag was started by Tamara's Coloring Coven, which is a new channel to me. So check it out, and I will link it below. And I was tagged by Ever at Ever's Coloring Corner. Blah, I can't talk today. So check out Ever's channel because it's awesome. And I am tagging Anne Hatfield, Spicy Cat Colors, Kits and Caboodles, Color Me Whimsy, and Shell's Coloring, and I'll link all those channels below. I haven't seen a lot of people do this tag yet, so you know, I was thinking I would tag a few people, maybe get it started, get it going. I know we're doing a lot of tags right now, but it's fun. I have a lot of books to color in because I haven't got nearly done as much as I wanted to. So what we do in this tag is you take a Halloween picture and you color it in pastel colors only, using any medium. It doesn't matter as long as they're pastel colors. And there are a list of 15 questions to answer. So I picked a picture out of Happy Halloween Coloring Book by Coloring Book Cafe. And I thought that this picture would look nice in pastel colors because it's kind of like fun, fruity. I have my Ohuhu pastel markers and my Marco 24 set of pastel pencils. So that's what we will be using for this. I haven't really picked out any colors, so I got to figure out where I'm going to start. I should have picked out a palette, but you know, this is kind of hard for me, but we'll get there. I mean, this one's going to be a struggle because my brain always wants to do things in normal colors. So that's why I'm doing it partly. Okay. So let me pick out we'll start with the pumpkin, I think. Oh, what color should the pumpkin be, like light or dark? Let's try this one. Like I said, I usually pick out colors before because I have a really hard time picking colors. So, yeah, Tammy's going to struggle a lot, but, you know, we'll give it a go. So, question number 1. I did tell you that there's a list of 15 Halloween questions that you have to answer while you color this, right? I think I did. So I've got my list over here. Question 1, what is your very favorite candy? My favorite candy, well, so I've been a diabetic for over 30 years, type 1. So I don't eat a lot, but I'm trying to remember, like, Halloween, what I would really like. And it was always like Snickers bars, popcorn balls, but candy, I mean, oh, Three Musketeers, those were always my favorite too. Pretty much candy is my favorite candy. I wasn't terribly picky. I always didn't like Tootsie Rolls though. And it's funny because my husband loves Tootsie Rolls. But I always felt like it was like, what is this supposed to be? Chocolate? Ugh. You know? But yeah, probably Snickers bars. Number 2, what is your most favorite memory of Halloween when you were a kid? Oh, goodness. I had so much fun. I mean, just me and my parents mostly. I don't remember going out with friends because there weren't a lot of young kids in my neighborhood. But we always did the Halloween parade, and you know, my dad always helped me make a costume, and I was something different. Like I was Tinkerbell, I was a robot, I was so many different things, and we had so much fun putting it together every year. Let me see. I don't know. I mean, nothing really stands out because, like, I always had so much fun, like, all the time, you know, with my parents. Oh, you know, there was the time, like, my church had kind of like a Halloween haunted house type thing. And you had to walk in this room, and I was like, I don't know, 10 or 12. And they had all this stuff in a bowl, and it was supposed to feel like brains and eyeballs and things like that. And that was kind of cool. I had never done anything like that when I was a kid. So I would say, I know it's not a very exciting answer, but I had a great childhood. What can I say? My parents were amazing. Number 3, what is your tradition for Halloween if you don't go trick or treating or hand out candy? Well, I would go out trick or treating, but I'm too old. And we do hand out candy. We decorate our house. Like we have the Halloween decorations up now. Try YR70. And we always do our house up because we love Halloween. And if you didn't know, I have a door knocker. So my door is black. That's the color it was when we came. We have one of those, you know, it's like a security door. It's metal, but it looks like a real door. It's been with the house forever, and we've been told that we shouldn't replace it because you can't get those kind of doors anymore. But it looks like a normal door with, you know, the fancy stuff in it and everything else. And then there's a screen door on the front. But I put a dragon door knocker. A friend of mine makes brass door knockers, fantasy type stuff. And so he makes dragons, he makes walking sticks, he makes towel hangers and things like that. And so I told him when I bought a house, I was going to buy a doorbell and a door knocker, and by golly, it was going on my house. And so I have a dragon doorbell and a dragon door knocker. And they're awesome, and people seem to like them. I was worried that all of our neighbors were going to think that, or anybody who came to our house was going to think that we were satanic or something. You know how people are. I might shade that a little more. I'm just playing with it. But I mean, that's what we do. We hand out candy, and it's fun. We have a lot of fun with it. Last year, it kind of sucked because the weather was so bad. I mean, it was COVID, but we sat on the porch, and it was raining, and it was cold. And so when it's raining and cold, there aren't going to be a lot of kids. But so, find a place to put my tea. For those who have kids, did you dress them up for Halloween on their first Halloween? If so, what was it? I don't have kids. But I have dressed my cats up before. Couple years ago, when Domino, because I have 2 cats. One is 2 and one is 1. And when when we first got Domino 2 years ago, I bought like a tiger outfit because he's a tuxedo. He's a black and white tuxedo, and I bought him a tiger outfit. And it was so cute, but of course he hated it. So, you know, it didn't make him wear it too much. I've thought about getting it back out, you know, just because I think he would, I don't know if he would wear it still. And it was really warm when we first got him, and I was afraid he would get too hot. Now it's kind of cool. So I don't know if he would wear it. And I don't know if my other cat, Scotty, would like wearing costumes or not. But, and I also, I have had, I know I've talked about this, but I adopted retired racing greyhounds. And in the past, my first greyhound was named Batman. Now, full disclosure, I did not name them, actually. Some people do, but I never felt the need because the names didn't bother me. My first greyhound, his official name, like his certificate name, was Z's CD Senator. But they all have a call name because they don't want people calling their names when they're racing because it might distract them. So they have an official name and then they have a call name. And my first greyhound's call name was Batman. And we called him Batty for short. And he was not black. He was fawn. So I don't know why. I don't know how they choose the names, but it fit. And I dressed him up like Batman for Halloween. And it was adorable. He was so cute. People thought he was a statue because Batty was very laid back. Batty was extremely docile. And people didn't think he was real. They thought he was a dog statue that I put clothes on. It was so funny. But anyway, I'm going to try something and see if this works. RG110, where's my RG120? Somewhere, come on, where are you? I could use 10, but I want 20 RG. See, this is why I pick out colors ahead of time, because I can't find them. So that was what I did. I don't know how to superimpose pictures in my videos. But I suppose, and they're real pictures, like this was in the 90s. So I don't even know. I should be able to find a picture. I never thought about that. And I suppose I could post it on my Instagram or something. Maybe I'll get 500 subscribers before too long and I can post it on my community tab or something. I don't know. I haven't figured out how to post pictures and words in videos like people do. And I don't use anything other than what comes with my iPhone. So, in Canva, like I just use the free version of Canva. So if anybody knows and they want to suggest to me how to do that, I would be much appreciative. I guess I could Google it. I just haven't. I keep forgetting. Anyway, 5. For those who have pets, did you dress them up for the holiday too? What costume? Well, I guess I just answered that question. I don't read ahead. What can I say? Number 6. Which spooky pet would you choose? Black cat, owl, bat, rat, or wolf? Do I have to pick just one? Because pretty much I like all of those. Cats are amazing familiars. Owls, I mean, who doesn't remember Bubo? Of course, he was a robot owl, mind you, but still. Let's see, and a rat. Rats are so smart. I would love to have a rat as a pet. They're amazing. Bats are amazing. And wolves, I mean, come on. I would have them all. I would have all the spooky pets. 7, favorite scary video game. So you're making the assumption I play video games. And so Tammy doesn't play scary video games for a reason. I am the person that people would stop and watch play video games because I am scared. Like, there's a video game, and I can't remember what it was called. It's an Xbox game, and it's like way too old for anybody to probably remember, and I doubt that anybody's ever played it. But I loved it. I can't find my Y030. That's YR. Huh. That's weird. Unless it's this one and I labeled it wrong, which is entirely possible. Hang on. Because this is Y. Huh. Nope, that's it. Y230, but I can't find my Y030. That's really weird. You know what? I wonder if I stuck it. See, the problem is I have Ohuhu brush markers, and sometimes when I use them with these, because they're in separate bags, I put them back in the wrong container. So that's all right. We got a fix for this. Just let me sharpen my pencil. So this video game, do this really quick. You would, oh crap, and I don't remember what order these were in, and because these don't have numbers or names or anything. So, all right, so you were in like a dungeon or a cave or whatever, and you had to do these spells, like you had to do spells in the right combination to be able to do things in advance and things like that. And there were different levels, so you were always in this cave, which is hard for me because I'm afraid of the dark. But and I loved this game. I'm sure that probably hardly nobody ever played it. Nobody in the world played it but me. But I got to this one level and I couldn't go any farther because it was pitch black. Now, usually there were torches on the walls and, you know, you didn't have to worry about it. But on this level, it was pitch black. So you had to find the torches to light it. And I was too scared because I knew that there were spiders in the cave because I could hear them. I could hear that there were things in the cave, and I was literally too scared. I kept trying to get a friend to do it for me, you know, just get so far, because literally I couldn't move. I felt like I was in the cave, which I guess that makes it a good game, but I felt like I was in the cave and I couldn't go any farther. So I never finished the game. I keep thinking about getting it back out because we still have an Xbox. An Xbox 360. But I just never, I don't play video games because I like to play with other people. And I would play Psychonauts all the time. And people would stand and watch me. Like, if any of my friends were over, they would watch me play Psychonauts because I'm one of those people who has to stand up and jump and all that stuff. It's, like, funny to watch me play a video game. I guess I really need VR, don't I? It sounds like. Tammy needs VR. But anyway, so yeah, I don't play scary video games because I can't, like, I just can't. I don't think I could make it through. So anyway, that was a long answer, wasn't it? 8. What weird, silly thing are you afraid of? Yeah, I'm afraid of the dark, which is silly and not silly. I mean, what's the dark going to do to you? Nothing. The dark is not going to hurt you. It's whatever's hiding in the dark that's going to hurt you. But we always say we're afraid of the dark. So I don't know. Is there anything else that oh, well, thunder. because when I was a kid, we had a really bad thunderstorm at our house. I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 5. I was really young. And my mom and dad were cleaning out this upstairs bedroom. And we had a storm. It was a really bad storm. And there's a park across the street from our house in Waverly, my mom and dad's house, because they still live in the house I grew up in. And, you know, old, huge trees and stuff like that. Anyway, the storm quits. The sun came out. And so they had the window open, and they didn't have screens on the windows because my mom and dad's house was built in 1916. So this big window, and it was a big picture window, like, I don't know, 4 feet across, you know, one of those really big windows. So she had the window open to air it out because they were cleaning. So I was hanging my head out the window, and across the street from the park, and now it's sunny out, like the storm has gone. And I hung my head out, and right when I was hanging my head out the window, a bolt of lightning hit a tree across the street. Now, if none of you have experienced something like that, it is very loud. It is so loud you can't imagine when the lightning is that close and it strikes something. Literally scared me to death. I screamed and cried, and it took my mother forever to calm me down. And to this day, I need some green. To this day, I cannot, like, anytime there's a loud noise, I will involuntarily scream. And I try not to, but it's like a knee-jerk reaction, and I can't stop myself. As long as I know it's coming, I won't scream. Like, if I know it's thundering and lightning, I'm fine. Like, I'll pay attention. But if it catches me by surprise, I'll scream. So sometimes I have to warn people that might happen. I've had to warn people in the office, like, by the way, you know, when it's storming, if I scream, just ignore me, because, and, you know, like when I'm home alone, it's the scariest when I'm home alone and there's nobody there. But anyway, another rambled on too long for that one, I'm sure. What is my favorite Halloween / scary song? Oh, Monster Mash. Come on. I love the Monster Mash. I love the Purple People Eater too. Those two are like the best Halloween songs ever. Number 10, have you ever used a Ouija board? No, I have not. And if you watched Ever's video, I will again reiterate what Ever said. That's bad juju, and you don't mess with that crap. I'm just saying. It's not something you should mess with. It's not something you should play with. You never invite the spirits into your home. I don't care whether you believe in it or not. Don't ever do it. So it's just good policy to not do that stuff. Don't mess with the spirit world. So no, I've never. That being said, my grandmother had a Ouija board. And she didn't have the thingy. She just had the board, and it was from her childhood. So it was an antique, and my aunt still has it, and I really want it. But my grandmother would play cards on it. She used it because she would play solitaire every night when they were watching TV, and she would set the Ouija board on her lap and play cards, you know, on the Ouija board. I think this one's gonna be too I don't want it to be the same color as the pumpkin, so I want it to be a little bit different. So we'll see. I don't know. I may not like it. I may have to make it a darker color or something, but we'll go with it for now. I know that my dad did a little bit when they were kids. And the funny thing is I actually got one of the ones when Hasbro made them, or I think it was Hasbro, yeah. And I had never opened it, and I don't even know if I can bring myself to sell them. I don't know why I wanted it. I think I wanted it for the same reason that my grandmother had it, but you know, they're not the same. I really wanted to just use it as a lap board rather than an actual Ouija board, because if you don't use it as a Ouija board, it's just a board. It's not gonna hurt anything. But yeah, demons are real. Don't ever do that. Number 11, tell us something creepy that has happened to you. Okay, so my mother worked as the secretary at the church that we went to, and the church was very old. I'm trying to remember when it was built. 1884, I think. Somewhere around in there. Anyway, very old. So, you know, been around for a while. Waverly is a very, you know, has been around since the early 1800s. It was founded in the early 1800s. And so it has some of the old buildings like they used to have, the tall 3-story buildings that, you know, would have businesses in the bottom. I'm sure you know. So one of those buildings was next to the church, and the church actually owned the building, and it was like 3 so it on the bottom it had the what looked like shops with, you know, 3 separate shop type things, and then the top, like if you went up the stairs in the middle, the second and third floor were like big rooms or whatever on each side. They weren't like separate. Well, I guess they were, but anyway. So one of the shops was a funeral parlor. It was a funeral parlor in the 1800s, and if you went down into the basement still had a dirt floor in that building. I don't know if it does anymore because we built a new church and sold it, which made me sad, but anyway. That happens. Life goes on, right? But I was terrified. I've never seen a ghost, but I feel emotion. Like, I'm very sensitive to emotion, and I can feel what other people are feeling, which sucks sometimes, but I mean, it helps me identify. I mean, it's not like what you think, but I'm very sensitive to emotion. We'll just put it that way. And every time I went over there, I wasn't scared. I just wanted to cry. You know, I had this overwhelming feeling that I just wanted to cry. And no, that wasn't there. No, in the place that was the funeral parlor, I just kept getting chills all the time. Like, I was always like creeped out by being in that building. Like, for some reason, I didn't want to be there. I would never be in there alone. And I never felt like anything was going to harm me, but I just felt like I was being watched all the time. So then in the church itself, my mom, it wasn't me, but my mom was walking up she'd put the bulletins in the back of the sanctuary, and she was walking up the aisle, and she felt something icy touch her arm. they had a number of experiences at the church that I wish I had had, but I mean, she was there more than I was because she worked there and she was there alone. But there was a drawer in the organ that was locked, and the only person who had the key was the organist, and she lived in a completely different town. And something would get the pencils and things out of the drawer and move them to different places. And we think it was the spirit of one of the organists that played there at one time. But that was always weird. And let's see. The scariest thing, well, it wasn't, I don't know if it was really scary. So in Athens, where I went to college, Athens, Ohio, there is an old asylum on the top of the hill, and I can't remember what it's called, but if you look up Athens, Ohio Asylum, you can see a picture of it. And I mean, it is the quintessential, because it was built in the late 1800s, early 1900s, I can't remember. So it has that really scary architecture look that's, you know, it looks like it should be haunted. And it's been on some of the ghost shows before, because they shut it down a long time ago. And so it sat empty. Like when I was in college, it was empty. And it's on a hill, and it towers over the town, which is also really creepy, right? And you can, when you're walking, there's a road, and you don't drive up there anymore. Well, I think now they do, because the college bought it. But it was a stone road, and they used to have, like, there was the main building, and there was a building next door that was some kind of a big open room with a lot of windows, and there's a graveyard. And they used to, like, basically, they had their own cows, and they had, you know, they would take care of all their own stuff there. But it was back in the time when people would send their relatives, and they would just be lost, you know, there forever, because no one wanted to take care of them. So, I don't know if this is going to look good, but we're going to try it. So, we decided to go up there one night. And it's in the middle of town. So, I mean, it's not like you have to go anywhere to go up there. And the graves, a lot of them have numbers instead of names. And, you know, I wasn't scared to go up there. I mean, I'd heard that there were ghosts and stuff like that. And I can't remember. There's a couple of friends of mine. We just wanted to walk up and see it, because we never walked up there. And I got like halfway up the road, you know, and I just stopped. And I started crying. I was just so sad. I was crying. And I could just imagine people staring out the window. This is very weird. And I couldn't go any farther. I didn't want to go any farther. Just the feeling overwhelmed me. And when I got down to the sidewalk, down on the street, I was fine. But when I was on that road, I had this overwhelming feeling of just sadness and crying. But anyway, so there's that. 12. Do you believe in spirits or ghosts? If so, tell why you do, or if you have encountered one. I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in spirits. I am very skeptical, though. I would love to experience one, although I have not myself experienced a ghost. I don't go looking for it, but it has always intrigued me. I do watch, you know, the ghost hunters, and I don't watch Ghost Adventures because, anyway, if you know, you know. If not, it's fine if you're a fan. but they don't shut up long enough to hear anything. I was so disappointed because when we went to Reno, we went to Virginia City, which is a very cool place. It's outside of Virginia City. It's up on the mountain, and it's old, and there's supposedly one of the most haunted places in America called the Washoe Club. And you can take ghost tours, and I was pissed because when we went, they were having a festival, a mountain oyster festival, I think is what it was, in the streets. And so everyone was drinking, and it was still cold. It was like March. Of course, you're in the mountains. But of course, I was so excited to take this tour, and it was in the middle of the day though, which was kind of disappointing, but there were a bunch of drunk people on the tour with us, and it ruined it because, well, you know how drunk people are, and that stuff really pisses me off, because ghosts aren't going to come out for that and be a part of that. Heck, I didn't even want to be a part of, those people. But it was a very interesting tour, so I do recommend it if you ever go. It's really cool and amazing, and there are a lot of stories there, and but I still didn't get to see a ghost. I have never spent the night in a haunted place that I knew of. I have wanted to. I don't know. I don't seek it out, even though I want to experience it. I know my father-in-law would do it with me. He would totally go, and that would be cool. My mom would do it too. She would go. I can't tell if this is a petal. I'm just going to assume that this is a flower petal, and we'll figure it out later. But I'll fix it. I'll have to make it darker or something. I just don't know what this is. I can't tell what some of these things in this picture are. So yeah, I do believe in ghosts. I think because I have, my grandfather died when I was 9, and he was my world. Because I stayed, my mom had 2 jobs, and my dad was working all the time, and so I spent a lot of time with my grandparents during the day when school was out, and I think I would like to think that I can talk to him again, or that I can see him and ask him questions and things, because I have a lot of questions. But, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I am interested in maybe experiencing a ghost. I was hoping when we did the tour, because here in Ohio we have the Mansfield Penitentiary, and we actually went because it's a haunted house for the time that haunted houses are running. It's usually a month or 2 that they have it open. And I mean, they have all the standard ghosty stuff, but they do have like a chair sitting in a back room somewhere that you can't go into, that's supposed to be haunted. And the video camera is always on this chair, because supposedly it moves every once in a while. And you can watch it while you're standing in line. So that's kind of cool. And I think you can spend the night there. Yeah, you can. You can make a reservation and spend the night in the haunted house, or in the haunted Ohio Penitentiary, and they give you like pizza or something, but they're always full up, because it's like only on the weekend or something like that at night, and I always think about it too late, because I know my father-in-law wants to do it, and it would be super cool. But all right, I have rambled on long enough about that. 13. Have you ever been in a real haunted house? Not a made up one, but an honest haunted house. Well, like I said, yeah, we saw the Washoe Club, which isn't a house, it was a business. And that was cool. I have been in houses that people said there were ghosts. And I was in the Mansfield Penitentiary, which is actually supposed to be haunted, even though they do it as a haunted house. There's supposed to be a lot of activity there. But other than that, I've never like stayed in an actual haunted house. I told William, it's like, we should totally like go to one of these haunted hotels. It would be so cool to go to the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, which is a beautiful place anyway, and go do that. I can't tell what some of these things are. I think this is supposed to be liquids. Yeah, liquids splashing out, so we'll have to figure that out. All right, so 14. Do you go to the cemetery at night? And if so, have you seen things? Have I been in a cemetery at night? Yes. But I don't remember why. I mean, there was a reason we were there. But it wasn't like stupid kid things, right? But no, I have never seen anything happen in the cemetery. I like to think that ghosts don't hang out in the cemetery. They would hang out where they want people to, have questions for people or whatever. And not haunt the cemetery. But anyway, number 15. Have you ever experimented with an EMF recorder? No, I have not. I'm trying to think of what color this liquid should be. But I would like to experiment with an EMF recorder because I think it would be cool. I'm gonna make this a little different color of purple. I've thought about it. I've thought about getting a tape recorder because my mom, so even though they built a new church and it's a new building, my mom still says things happen. Now, it is an old piece of land that used to have a farmhouse, and I'm sure that there's history there. It's up on a hill, kind of by itself-ish. I mean, there's some apartments right in front of it, but the church is the last thing towards the back, and there's woods and stuff like that. But, my mom says that something, like she has a radio that she has tuned to a radio station, and she turns it on, and it's tuned to this other radio station, and there would be nobody in there messing with her radio. And she swears that something has said things in her ear, and doors close and things like that. And other people have experienced things too. So we do think that it's attached to something, but also she thinks it might be the husband of one of the people that she knows, because he spent a lot of time in the church. So, and they were good friends, and he was the husband of one of my mom's best friends, and so she thinks he might be lingering there because he died suddenly. I don't know. I mean, some of the things that happen, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you knew him, what she's saying makes sense, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if it was something from the property or if it's something from the church, or from one of the items that were brought, because we did bring some antique items. And my mom always thought that the things happening were related to, attached to the organ. But we got rid of the organ and there are still things happening. So I don't know. I would love to call, sometimes I want to call, what is it, the Dead Files, and see if she could figure it out, see what's there. That would be interesting, but it's an old area, so, you know, there's just going to be history no matter what, and nothing bad. I mean, usually they call the Dead Files when bad things are happening, so I don't even know if they would come, because I don't know that the story is necessarily that interesting. But anyway, I told my mom, I keep telling her, I'm like, she just retired, so I don't know if we could do it anymore, but she could probably get in. I'm like, we should go over there at the church and at night and just sit there and be quiet and take a recorder and ask questions and see if anybody answers. And I can't get her to do it. You know, so that would be fun, but I'll keep working on her. I mean, I know that she would want to because she's interested in the same things I am. But anyway, we'll see. I don't know about my dad. He's kind of skeptical. I mean, he would do it, but I don't know if he necessarily thinks anything's going on. He's not a naysayer. He just hasn't ever really experienced anything, so he's kind of, you know, not as excited as my mom and I are. Okay, so, I guess that's 15 questions. I hope you've enjoyed. And I haven't finished the picture, but I will have to. It's actually coming out pretty good. I'll have to do some shading or something like that and figure out. I cannot figure out what color I want this liquid to be. Oh, we may have to come up with something fun for that. I'll have to see what I have in the pastel range. But anyway, thanks for watching. And again, I hope everyone that I have tagged has fun with this tag. You don't feel pressured. Don't have to do it if you don't want to. But have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.